let me give you the final score of me first, then go into the details. I am willing to give it the 6 out of 10 again. Is it as good as the first one? No, there are certain decisions that affects the rating. I mean the you know the overall opinion. Like, was that a good idea to make a Venom movie without a Venom? And while I would trim that segment down, it's in the middle or something like that. We are compensated for it with good symbiote action. You see, in here there is this god of the symbiotes. You can check the comic book events if you want. It's practically my Eric of Malibone, but evil. And so a white-faced guy, an albino guy with a sword who rules over the symbiotes and sends symbiote hunters after Venom, and then stuff happens, and they fight this creature, and then everybody dies, and the movie ends with mid-credit scene or post-credit scene, whatever we call it now. The first third, or let's call it that, the first part of the movie is your usual Venom Eddie Brock monitoring. Perfectly fine. Although I have a problem when the symbiote hunter appears. We drop it, punch it, and drop it into an engine of an airplane, and it falls like, a mile, splashes on the ground, and just assembles itself. That wasn't a good decision. I mean, we have other symbiote hunters, so let this one die? Or if not, why jump off the plane? Because the idea is Venom is traveling on an airplane where they are fighting. So if you know this thing will just assemble itself, then why not get as far as you can from it? So you might as well travel by the plane wherever you were going. Then we have this hippie family who believes in Area 51, which is of course just the veil for Area 52, yada yada, all that is in the movie. They take a bit too much screen time from the movie, and they only have kids because we didn't have any other idea to fill up the runtime with them. Either way, the point is Venom can't fully cover Eddie Brock because then the symbiote hunters can sense him. Then, of course, they turn into Venom, full Venom, because, I don't know, first to prevent Eddie from drowning, but why not just cover the upper half and we are all good. So yeah, that was kind of stupid. And the second time, just because the plot says so, because we are starting to lack of action. So that was not that good. But then, as I said, we get various symbiotes. They all have slightly specific powers. One is hammering time build, the other can do super fast, The next one has slicing tentacles, very much like Carnage in the comics, and other such stuff. It's perfectly fine. The point is, at the end, all the symbiotes die, kaput, except one, the purple one. Because the purple one was contained in wherever, and this scientist lady, whatever. We all know Sony no longer makes these Spider-Man-less Spider-Man universe movies, so I get it at that end, even though all the Venom symbiotes were perfectly fine merchandising opportunities. So I hope Marvel brings them to the core, to the sacred timeline. Now here is some other thing that Venom is leaving its parts all around. When when it was in the cinemas, I heard, oh, it got retconned, and it just they put it in a tube and whatever. I paid attention, and the part of the Venom symbiote that was in the sacred timeline is never dealt with. It's again just hanging around like Mordo, the wizard hunter wizard from Doctor Strange, the first movie of that brand. So there is that, because if you paid attention, that Venom thing part that part of Venom was at the universe with the short-haired partner, and then he leaves another part behind holding the penny or silver dollar or whatever, where the bartender has long hair. So that's two separate parts. And this part, with the in the Venom universe, is shown in the after credit scene, one of it, to be to get out of its tube. So yeah, Venom survived in two timelines. Now, what I have problem with the Venom Hunter things, we know that the symbiotes have this weakness to fire. I don't know why Venom told us that fire is its weakness too, and sound. So I guessed the Venom Hunters also have some kind of weakness. And this is what we seriously weakens the movie, because why fight the Venom Hunter? All the symbiotes should have fought Venom, because he was bringing all the danger to them. Because Venom and Eddie Brock in the previous Venom movie got letally injured, so that unlocked some magical MacGuffin spell, charm, whatever. So, which is required for the symbiote god to get out of the Nothingverse or whatever it is logged. So the symbiote should have attacked Brock to either destroy Brock the body or Venom the symbiote. That destroys this pledge or sign or symbol or codex code. The movie called it codex because it called it. And so Venom died. Now this makes it convoluted, because Venom supposedly died, and just for to make Eddie free, but there are the pieces of Venom and the symbiote god is this Knull seems to be released from its prison despite, Venom dying should have prevented. That was the whole point of it. I don't know. So there are seriously weak points. So this is at best a 6 minus out of 10. But I like the first portion of the movie, and I like the symbiotes fighting, even though, in the end it doesn't make any sense when you think about it too much. No, I made some notes because I always forget certain things. Oh, in one of the Avengers movies, yeah, the Spider-Man No Way Home, yeah. Why was the Statue of Liberty red? I have no idea. And here there was this Las Vegas scene where they show a living statue. Those people paint themselves and stand motionless on the street for money. And they couldn't hire a real one. They just put a whatever assistant into this costume and stand there for a minute. And she blinks and moves, and ooh, that's very bad. Seriously, you couldn't hire someone. I mean, $100 at most, maybe 1,000 if you are generous. It's a shame. For Venom's eating habits, we could get deep into that and get lost. And there was this part with the Venom, the symbiote, possessing things and it's just dying. So you need a matching and or this compatibility thing. But for humans, they never showed anyone instantly dying for trying to get a symbiote. So for humans, I guess there is a temporary period where they can possess anyone and just move on quickly enough before the body is dying or something like that. So that point. By the way, back to the eating habit. Venom is eating chickens. I guess it's close. There is a chicken farm. I don't know how many he needs to eat because Eddie Brock don't want to eat human heads. I don't know. Okay, but why don't you try to eat lamb brain? Or pig brain. Those can be bought in the butcher shops frequently, even around here. It's a delicacy, so it's not a big amount, but there's that. And if you order it, I bet you can arrange it. Or even you could eat cow brains in a butchery. So what's up with that? Did they try? Or, do something with some morgue where, just people would be cremated and you get the brain? Would that work, or you need the living host for food? There are some possibilities which would have satisfied Venom much better and lead to way less complication for Eddie. And finally, something that because these are aliens and all that kind of stuff, I remembered Loki. So this is not at all Venom related, but marginal it still is. In Loki, all these timelines and whatnot, and cutting off, and you know, variants and all that kind of stuff. Where are the aliens? It seems in the Loki series, only humans could cause variations, timeline splits. The aliens are just always doing what they are supposed to. I mean, that's weird. Uh, And sooner or later, I wanted to insert it somewhere. This was the place I finally wrote it up before I forget again. And it was like 5 more videos ago. I always try to. Uh, why I've been babbling. Anyway, where is there is the cat?